What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave. Holy shit, did I make a mistake tonight? I was like, okay, let's watch the entire damn Stone Cold Brock Lesnar podcast. Everyone's going to be watching it. Let's watch it. Let's have a good time. That was absolutely horrid, man. About 90% of that interview with Brock Lesnar was absolutely god-awful. I mean, there was a point where they were talking about their favorite grills. And I understand that that's what Stone Cold does. I've watched his podcast. He talks about music a lot. He talks about a lot of things. But this is not his regular podcast that we see on, One Pod Nation, whatever the fuck he's on. This is not to say that this is on the WWE Network. The stuff that he ended with should have been a majority of the show. They rushed through everything wrestling, everything controversial. They did not touch on anything properly as far as things that people wanted to hear about. I could have listened to 15 to 20 minutes of Brock Lesnar trying to explain everything that happened with WrestleMania 19 and 20 for like a majority of the show. I think most people could have. So a little agitated at the ideas behind this damn podcast. I don't understand it. Why waste this hour? And this was built up as the Go to Hell tour and all this stuff. It's absolutely insane to me that they wasted all this time. I don't really understand the thought process in this, but that being said, the end of it got really good. Brock is so aloof. He does not really give straight answers, and Stone Cold really wasn't pressing him like he's pressed some other people. I thought the Paige interview was pretty goddamn skittish, and it was all over the place, but that was because of Paige. This was just all over the place because there was no answers being given. Brock was very interested in talking about his favorite drink, very interested in talking about his favorite music, but Jesus, I couldn't deal with it, man. That was a brutal podcast. There were some things that I liked from it. Hashtag Feed the Jew, probably my new favorite thing. Hashtag Feed the Jew. Only Brock Lesnar is going to get away with saying that. That's fantastic. There was a few times that it looked like he was going to accidentally slip and say some things. Right at the end there when he was talking about this match with Undertaker being the last one, it looked like he was about to say, Vince sat me down and said, look, the way the last match went, I don't think that we should have this at WrestleMania. But he stopped short of that, and he was just like, I wasn't, blah, 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 and it was interesting. It was interesting. It was definitely an interesting situation, man. But I'm not super happy with how they decided to allocate the time. Obviously, they build this damn podcast, this interview with some ideas in mind. But man, I just feel like it was a waste. So much of it was absolutely wasted. Now, let's go ahead. I don't really want to get into too much more of the podcast. I gotta be completely honest. I like Brock cursing. I like Brock getting into some stuff. I thought there were some funny moments. But overall, I think most people are going to agree it was a pretty big goddamn letdown, considering I think people had a lot of really big, grandiose ideas of what was going to happen, and nothing did. There was no animosity. They didn't really touch on the Austin taking his ball and go home. They talked about it very little, but I felt that was almost a cop-out the way they did it. It's just nothing hit for me. Nothing hit in that podcast. So we're going to be done with the podcast now. If somebody has a question, you can call in live, because that's what we're here for. You can call in on Skype at David Vancura, DavidVancura, or use the new number 702-751-2902, and you can get anything that you have off your chest. You want to talk about the podcast, we'll talk about the podcast, but we're about to get right into the copious amounts of notes. It's 6:20 in the morning. I've been up all night watching 4 hours of content now, and my ass hurts, and I'm tired. So we're going to get through the copious amounts of notes. We're going to take your calls, and Dave's going to get his fat ass to sleep at some point. I'm not rushing. Don't worry about it. Before we get too far ahead, if you've not been to Dead on Dave, davidvancura.spreadshirt.com. If you have not checked it out, now's the time because you guys have asked for it, and now it is here. Yes, the Pour Honey on Yo Titties shirt is here, and it's glorious. It's glorious. It exists. It's for sale. You can own it. Along with a few other shirts that the most badass graphics guru a guy could ask for, Sal, man. He's the man. He also did some other stuff for us. He got a couple other good things in there. It's amazing. There's like 3 new shirts, a hoodie. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Dave. It's fantastic. Here's a little sneak preview of the shirt. This is on the front and back of the shirt. It's here. This is amazing. Yes, it exists. This is the logo. And let's go ahead and look at the other logo that's on the front of this shirt. How good is this? It's absolutely fantastic. Pour honey on my titties. You guys wanted it. It's here. You can buy it at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. You can buy it. And if you do buy any of these, if you decide to get yourself the Copious shirt or anything else that you see, tweet it out, man. When you get it, tweet it out. Let everybody know what you're representing. I want to see the pictures. So make sure you do that as well, man. It's absolutely crazy. We killed it with that. So I'm really excited that it's there. I'm excited that you guys can buy it. You guys wanted it. I don't mind giving myself a little bit of punch in the face when it comes to things like that. I know people want it, so I have no problem with it. Before we get into the copious amounts of notes, you guys hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button. Show a little love to the copious one. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and donate to the channel right in the description box of this video. And because of those donations, we're able to get cool things like the phone number, 702-751-2902. We keep the graphics updated, all kinds of great stuff, and it's all because of you guys. So if you feel like donating, it's there. You guys can do that, and you'll get the message, the $1 Million Laugh, the whole shebang-a-bang. And if it's a question, I'll answer it without any wait. You don't have to worry about waiting in the chat if you had a question. So let's get into the copious amounts of notes, and you guys can call in whenever you like and get your voice heard on Monday Night Raw and the podcast. So all week, the news was Austin was not going to be on Raw, that he was pulled from the advertising. For one, it did not even for a second. It did not even for a second make me think that we were not going to get Raw. Get Austin on Raw. We did, and it was awesome. It was awesome, and it was great. Seeing him there was fantastic. Seeing what he did was really fun. I wish more would have been with it. I mean, just seeing him there, okay. Seeing him come out and the pop, and that was great, and the broken glass and stuff, but they really did nothing. And this was a theme throughout the night with the legends. They used Austin, Shawn Michaels, and Ric Flair all for introducing a person, which I guess in some ways is a cool thing. I mean, what else really were they going to do with them? But we didn't get anything. We didn't get a Sweet Chin Music. We didn't get a stunner. We didn't get any of those things. And I kind of understand to a reason as to why not, because they don't want to use these legends in that manner. They don't want to give people false hope of matches or feuds or rivalries or one more match or anything like that. I mean, hell, seeing Shawn Michaels and Seth Rollins face-to-face was enough to get everybody excited. Lord knows I was excited. So it was pretty crazy. It was pretty crazy. Let's go into the chat here before we get further into the copious amounts of notes. The Alien. I'll try to talk to you when you start streaming. I was there, and you probably want someone's opinion on being there live. Absolutely. Go ahead and call in The Alien. You want to call in on Skype at David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA, or 702-751-2902. I'll take your call. And you can tell me how it was there in Dallas, Texas. Patrick Lynn, sup, Dave? Missed Rod night. Eagles football was on. It was a blowout. Who gave a shit? Jake Hardy. Dave, how was the Seth and Sean segment? I really wanted to see Sweet Chin Music, but whatever. I liked it. I liked the segment. I thought Sean was funny as he always is. It was a really cool thing. But, you know, it was lacking for me because, and that's just greed. It's just greed. because I'm such a fan of what Shawn does, and I want to see him do his thing. So I'm a little bit disappointed because Shawn's my all-time favorite. But, really, I got to see all my favorites tonight, and it was a lot of fun. I got to see Rick. I got to see Shawn. I got to see all these guys, and it was great. It was a cool thing. But again, it left me wanting to see a little bit more. And I think that's the point of the whole nostalgic angle. And people who complain about these guys being here, I always come to the conclusion, hey, you use them while you can. You use them while they're available and when they're still walking around and able to do these things. They all look great. I mean, even Rick, for as old as he is, he didn't look that bad tonight. Shawn looked amazingly good. And Austin looks like he's in the best shape he's been in 15 years. So that was pretty cool. So when we find out that Austin is just introducing Taker, we didn't get a confrontation. We didn't get a stare down. We didn't get any of that, and that kind of sucked. Austin was out of the ring by the time Undertaker's 17-minute intro was done. God, that thing needs to be pared down. Taker comes out and starts to talk. He gives his little promo selling the Hell in the Cell thing. Brock comes out. What I liked about this was Brock was talked off the apron by Paul. Paul has an absolute conniption fit. Like, no. That was pretty cool. I thought that's what Paul's able to do. He talks people in and out of things, and he makes it seem like it's real. He captivates you and makes you feel that this is not a scripted thing. And that's what wrestling is. And I think that's the important thing. People always say, well, wrestling's not real, wrestling is fake. Wrestling's not about belief. Wrestling is about suspending disbelief. And there's a distinct difference between the two. And that's what Paul Heyman's able to do so well. He makes you suspend your disbelief. Because in your mind, you know that it's fake. But Paul is able to make you go, well, that's interesting. And it's just something that not a lot of people can do. That's why he's so special. A note that I had on the Austin segment, when he was at the end of his segment, if you notice, he stumbled over his words a few times, and he actually looked like he was shaking. Now, this is either early symptoms of Parkinson's, or Stone Cold got a little nervous there, and I think either one is very possible. All those shots in the heads, everyone's going to be a little Muhammad Ali-ish towards the end of their careers and lives. And that's just how it is. But it was pretty cool to see him kind of shake. So after we got those first two in-ring promos out of the way, we then find out that we are getting a six-man tag, The New Day versus John Cena and 3D. And it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. It wasn't so bad. I like what happened with it. There was a good beginning to it. The New Day, talking all their shit and teasing the extra cursing, and they go ass. And I don't know if everybody heard it. I don't know if it's just me. If I misheard it, I have no idea. But I swear to God, either Devon or Bubba, and I'm pretty sure it was Bubba, was caught on camera saying, after they said ass, he said, "Get in the fucking ring." I swear to God, I heard it. Oh, my butt. Ow, that hurt. That was pretty cool. That hurt really bad. Whew. All right. I thought that was kind of funny. I'm sure they're going to get a talking to. Somebody said they heard freaking, but I heard fucking. I know I heard it. I know I heard fucking, but it's all right. As for the match itself, I thought it was a good opening match. Woods would get the roll up, which was cool, getting a victory. Woods is becoming the guy who is getting the pinfalls. He is the man who's really the focal point of New Day and becoming even more so. This guy is going to be the breakaway star and the first singles champion of the group, I would think. We'll see. But for all of that bluster and the win, he also gets powerbombed off the top rope through a table, and that was pretty badass. I enjoyed the shit out of that. They don't do that spot all the time. It looked like they kind of dropped Xavier a little short too. So that looked really dangerous, but it looked good. And it was the first half hour, it was just all pop, 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 pop. They really came out strong with the star power that we got to see. I mean, think about it. In the first half hour, we got the Dudleys, John Cena, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman, and the fucking Undertaker. And then you throw in New Day on top of it, the hottest current product in the business. That's the way you want to start. The problem is there's a drop-off after that. And I'm not saying that Raw was necessarily bad, because I don't think it was. I thought Raw was pretty solid tonight in comparison, especially to the last 7 weeks. Better than anything we've seen in the last 7 weeks. This Raw was better than anything we've seen in the last 7 weeks when it comes to Monday Night Raw. There's no question in my mind about that. But there was a drop-off after that first half hour because there was a lot going on, and it was very cool. Let's go ahead and get into a little bit of stuff in the questions and the comments here. Alex Williams said, was it just me or did Taker look young tonight? Every time he grows out his hair, he starts to look a little bit younger. Now he's growing out his hair. It's about here. By WrestleMania, he'll be back down to his shoulders. Jay Davis, what did you get from the podcast? Not fucking much. There wasn't much to happen in that podcast. It was very bizarre. There was some funny language. They seemed to be laughing at a lot of things that it was a lot of inside stuff, which Austin's done in the past, but tonight even more so. I think it's because Brock is so aloof and so protective of some of the things that he said, like the fact that he wouldn't answer the question of who sued whom first with the New Japan and Vince situation. I really think that was an opportunity to get into that, but I don't blame Austin for not pushing harder because Brock simply wasn't having it. With certain things, Brock put up the wall, and that's it. One of the best things that I think that came out of it was he finally said something to Austin that I think needed to be said, because Austin constantly yammers on about this sports entertainment wrestling thing. And he asked, what are you, Brock? Are you a sports entertainer or are you a wrestler? And fucking Brock said the thing that I think everybody needs to answer. Is there a difference? No, there's not. It's always been the same. People say that it's a different thing now than no, it's not. You're insane. It's insane. Superstar Billy Graham would have been perfect in what we see today. It makes no sense to think that there's a difference. There's really not. If you want to call it that there's a difference because there's more wrestling back then than there was now, then what the fuck is the Attitude Era? I mean, you want to just call that the Fight Era then? Because there wasn't a whole lot of wrestling. There was a hell of a lot of fighting and blood and pussy and fucking titties and shit and weaponry and all that stuff. There was that. But the wrestling, what makes it a wrestling business? I mean, come on. I think it's borderline snobbish of Stone Cold to continue to do it. And it's actually pretty fucking annoying. Pretty goddamn annoying. Let's see what else people have to say in the damn chat here. Jake Hardy, also, are Paige's boobs getting bigger? Just saying. I think that she got a boob job a while back. I feel like when she first started wearing that new pentagram top, it was really tight and it was holding her stuff up. I think that's when she got the boob job, because it was like a bustier and it was there to protect. I think I really believe that. And now that she's healed from the surgery, that's why she's back down to the low cut stuff, and we're seeing the boobies just come out now because she's protected now. That's what I think happened. I think she had a small boob job. She didn't go Nikki Bella on us. I wish she would have, but that's okay. And actually, I like what Paige did. Paige is sexy as is. She doesn't need a boob job, but I'm glad she got a little bit more. Or she got the world's greatest push-up bra, which how she hides it in a wrestling gear, couldn't fucking tell you. But hey, it's okay. Alflex621 says, people give shit on the podcast because there weren't any hints of a WrestleMania match. It was great and very raw. Lesnar cursed like 10 times, talking about things that made me look like a dick. I'm not mad at the podcast for not talking about anything WrestleMania-wise. I'm mad at the podcast for not... cussing doesn't do nothing for me. Fuck, shit, balls, fuckhead, motherfuck. I'll cuss all day long. It doesn't do anything. Oh, he cussed. It must be real. No, I don't... That didn't do nothing for me. They could have told a lot more stories than they did, and I feel like they didn't. The first 40 minutes was, how's your farm? What's your favorite truck? What's your favorite music? What's your favorite drink? Seriously. And that was pretty annoying. It made absolutely no sense. It was annoying. Daniel Hoover says, Paige angle makes no sense. Actually, I think it makes a lot of sense. They're building something long-term here, and she's just being a destructive force. She's unstable. She's crazy. This is the same Paige that we've gotten for a very long time. So no, I don't think there's any confusion to it at all with Paige. She's gonna team when she wants to, and then she's gonna turn on him when she wants to as well. There it is. Sal, my man Sal, the copious graphics guru, the guy responsible for all the new graphics that you see, and the overhaul of the merchandise site, where yes, there is the Pour Honey on Your Titties shirt. It exists. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Dave. It exists. It's all on www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com, and it's all thanks to Sal, man. He's got it all working with laser precision. New shirts. Check it out. It's incredible. But yeah, he was talking slowly tonight. He was talking very purposefully, and it was cool. I like what Taker did. And I'm not a big Taker fan as far as like hearing him talking at this stage in his career and everything. It's more of just, hey, I get to see The Undertaker. That's great. But I thought the promo that he did was just very deliberate. It was cool. Jay Cardi says, I get bullied for liking wrestling, and I mean big bullying. Punch him in the dick. Very simple, Jay Cardi. Somebody bullies you, and if it's a big bully and they're getting physical, punch him in the dick. Don't kick him in the dick, because the kicks, they're going to respect if you actually fist to dick. You punch that dick, and then you'll run. Call me a bitch. I don't care. Punch him in the dick and run. If there's a couple of them, you go fucking super combo Floyd Mayweather on dicks, and you'll run. Fuck them. Fuck them. Especially if it's a group of them. Fuck them in the air. Punch them in the dick. That's how you handle a bully. My dad, my real father, who died 10 years ago in November, his name was Brian Keith Robbins. He was a short man. He was an angry, redneck, hillbilly drunk of a guy. He taught me one thing when it comes to bullies. Regular fighting is one thing. When it comes to bullies and groups of people, two things you need to concentrate on. Balls, and eyeballs. You take one of those out, or in this case, one of the pair, and you're good to go. Poke him in the eye, punch him in the dick. Poke and punch. If you can work a combination where you're doing both simultaneously, that's even better. Don't worry, Jake. They'll stop fucking with you if they know you're going to punch them in the dick or poke an eye out. You might get in a little trouble, but that's okay. They need to know. Don't fuck with Jake Hardy. You're going to lose one of your 4 balls. They're coming out. And that's because of Jake Hardy. And the cool thing is, if you snatch an eyeball out, or if you're able to pull a testicle out of the sack, you can give it back to him as a fucking Christmas present. We only got about 3 months worth of shopping left before your Christmas gift. How do you take care of the person who has everything? Give them one of their fucking balls back. They'll remember you then. Merry fucking Christmas, bitch. All right, that was vulgar. That's great. Jay Davis, fuck a bully. I'm all about fuck a bully. Fuck a bully. I agree. Let's go back into this thing here. Fuck a bully. I didn't hear shit. Jake, people are assholes. Jordan Turner, what's up, Dave? What's up, Jordan? Jay Cardi, I'm saying because people are telling me it's not a push-up bra. Fuck all that. Donnell Clemens, you just made an Attitude Era sound like it was great. Boobs, blood, weapons, hell yeah. It was great. The Attitude Era was great. There's no question about that. But I was comparing it to what people were saying about, wrestling and all that good stuff. Are you a wrestler or are you a sports entertainer? There's no difference. But the Attitude Era was great. Was it the end-all, be-all that everyone tries to say it was? No, there was a lot of bad in the Attitude Era that we all like to ignore. But there was a lot of great, too. So there we go. Laboga123. Of course Paige said it was a push-up bra. Of course she did. I don't believe her. It makes too much sense that she was wearing the bustier that was protecting everything, and now she's not. That ain't okay? Have you ever seen a push-up bra? Push-up bras have a little bit of padding on them. She's not going to hide them underneath there. I mean, that's just me. I don't know. We're never going to get this answered, but I'll tell you this. I'll inspect. If anybody knows Paige, you send her over to Germany. I'll take a look. I'm willing to take that hit for the team. I'm willing to do that. I'm that type of guy. Aren't I nice? I'll do that for you guys. So if anybody knows Paige, hook her up with me. Have her people call my people, and we'll arrange a booby inspection. Jordan Turner. Hey, Dave, do you think Sasha Banks looked good tonight in her ring gear? I think she looked gorgeous tonight. Now, Phil, WWE is protecting Sasha winning the title until WrestleMania 32. What do you think? Absolutely, she looked great in her ring gear. She always does. She's sexy as hell. She's just a petite little cute thing, is fiery cracker of a gal, and I absolutely love her. Do I think she's being protected? To an extent, yeah, I do. She's not taking the losses anymore. They were having her when she was involved in decisions early on when she wasn't being completely ignored. Now she's getting a little bit more into things, and they're trying to slow build with her. I don't know if they're going to protect her all the way to 32. Something else you got to remember about her. She's 23 years old. She's 23, so there's still a lot of time to go with her, and there's a lot of new chicks coming up. So give it a little bit of time. We got to get past this whole Bella thing. And I think that will get put to rest here at Hell in a Cell. If Charlotte loses, though, all bets are off. I don't know what the hell they're doing. I have no idea what they're thinking at that point. So it's all good. Jesse Amaro says, hey, Dave, do you think keep Orton off TV and him and Cena return together as heels upset the younger stars and take the spotlight? No, I don't. I don't think any of that will happen. That would be pretty crazy. It would be a hell of a turn. It could happen, much like, the Millionaires Club or stuff like that we've seen in the past, where some of the old veterans come in and take over. I don't know. I'm not really into that, especially with Orton and Cena. I don't know. Jay Cardi, Dave, how would you rate Raw? I give it an 8.2 out of 10. I give it a solid 7.5. I thought it was a really decent show. It wasn't the best thing in the world, but there was certainly enough to keep you invested. So that was kind of cool. What happened on the podcast? A whole lot of nothing. They talked about their favorite goddamn stuff. Their favorite music, their favorite barbecues and shit. Dark Angel, push-up bras come in 3 levels, Dave. Well, thank you. Thank you for the information on push-up bras. I'm glad to have the education. I don't really care, though, because I'm pretty sure it's hard to wrestle in these motherfucking things. Push-up bras push up. Don't they jiggle more and stuff? Won't they come out a lot easier? Push-up bras doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I know that we've seen a lot of push-up action, but those are... Kelly comes to mind, actually. But those things are jacked up and tied down when she was wrestling. They were up to her chin and strapped. Paige's are just lifted like she had a boob job. I still feel it's a boob job, but fuck everybody, because you can't prove a goddamn thing. Jay Cardi, if Ryback and Lesnar made it, would it be called Ryback? Am I right? I don't even know why I read that. I have no idea. Remember Vietnam says Stone Cold Steve Austin, one of the best in wrestling history. Very much agreed. Daniel Hoover, I would like your thoughts on the top 3 mid-card rivalries we could have right now. Off the top of my head, I would love to see, just for I can't really tell you as to why I'd like to see this, but I would. I would like to see Dean Ambrose and Cesaro. I want to see Dean go heel, but I want to see that feud. I think it would be a really good feud. I'd also like to see Dean and Roman. That's another one that I could really see happening. Dean and just about anybody in a real substantiated feud would be a lot of fun. Neville and Cesaro turning on each other would be a hell of an interesting situation, I think. Neville doesn't have a natural pairing, right now, because there's not a lot of smaller guys within the company. Some NXT guys that I'd love to see him wrestle, of course, when they come up. That'd be a lot of fun. So we'll see what happens there. Another mid-card. Kevin Owens. I think Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns makes a lot of sense in some ways, and that could be kind of fun. I think that there's a lot of... Ryback and Braun Strowman at some point could be a lot of fun. Could be a hell of a lot of fun. So I think there's a lot of options there. So let's see what else. Here we are. Omar Marrero, who is Cena facing at Hell in a Cell? I think it will be Tyler Breeze. I don't think it's going to be Tyler. I think more than likely it's either going to be one of the New Day yet again. Whoever is not in the tag team match, I think that they will not only take on John Cena but beat him for the title, or it'll be Dolph Ziggler to set up their rivalry when he gets back. If they go the natural way that I think a lot of people are expecting them to go, Dolph Ziggler beats Cena, and then at some point they reintroduce the whole situation with Total Divas with Nikki Bella and him, and then John Cena comes back. Ziggler's like, I took your gold and your girl. I mean, there's a whole lot of possibilities they could do there. It could be a lot of fun. Jay Davis, Real Talk, the Metaphor Messiah, he's up in the chat, and he says, do you think Rusev is being punished? Not based off tonight, I wouldn't say so. It doesn't look like it. It still could very possibly be that he is with this whole situation with Lana. I think it's too early to tell at this point. There was talks that tonight was going to be a very interesting night for Rusev. We didn't really see much happen. In fact, his team got the victory tonight. So I don't know. I think it's a little early to tell. You would think that if he was going to be punished, it would have already started. But sometimes these things are on delay. Sometimes they'll let them finish up with a certain situation and then punish the hell out of them later. There's always the possibility, too, that WWE simply knew everything that was happening with Lana and Rusev and just handled it poorly. That's a possibility, too. And the longer that we don't see any punishment or repercussions, and just because there's not any for him doesn't mean there's not any for her, because you think about it, she could be on camera with a broken wrist, especially now that the floodgates are open, that they're back together. What's the point of keeping her off now? It doesn't really make any sense. I think what really comes down to is they feel they have a lot invested into their futures, so really there might not be a lot of punishment. This is not the same WWE that it was 15 years ago, 20 years ago. It's just not that company. Going into business for yourself, as it used to be known, doesn't seem to be very much frowned upon anymore. Maybe by a couple of the guys at top, but it's a bottom line business nowadays, and I don't know. Maybe they just feel like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. They'll let some veterans go for slapping people in the back and shit, but not young guys and gals who they really feel could be a huge investment in the future. I don't know what the logic is behind it, but that's just kind of how it seems like they're doing business. Or I'm wrong about all of that because it's all speculation, and they are going to get punished. Or they already are in the back in another way. We don't know, so we'll see. Well, I wanted to see a stunner on Brock. I think everybody wanted to see a stunner on somebody. Jake Hardy says, I was watching old G.I. Joe movie, and one of the characters was named Sergeant Slaughter and was voiced by Sergeant Slaughter. Yes. Yeah. very, very much. Jordan Turner, hey, Dave, do you feel bad for Becky Lynch? I feel like she isn't being used properly, and that's a shame. I do feel a little bad about Becky Lynch. I think that with someone who has as much talent as she does, she should be definitely used a little bit more, and she's not for whatever reason at this time. Once again, I think I got to go back to the same thing I said earlier when it comes to Sasha. We got to get past this situation of Hell in a Cell. Once we get past the Bella situation, other things can open up. Well, I think that's why they're keeping this Paige thing kind of in this weird simmering holding pattern where she's going to turn on somebody major hardcore. It looks like they're building the whole thing with her and Natalya, and that should come to a head at some point. And then Becky is a really good person for her next, and it makes a lot of sense. So that's what I'm thinking, if I had to guess. Jake Hardy, I can't fucking type today, Dave. I meant to say if Ryback and Brock made a tag team, we would call Rybrock. Okay. Oh, boy. Jake Hardy, give Slater a chance. No. Jesse Amaro, do you think Sami Zayn returns and beats Cena Sunday? No. If I had to guess, no. I do not see him returning. He could be the guy, but I think there's other guys that are a little bit better that are currently on the roster that they could use that would build a storyline for later on. The New Day and Dolph Ziggler being the top of that list. For a surprise factor, could they go with somebody off of NXT? Absolutely. But from what I understood, Sami Zayn getting back to NXT is the preferred option at this point because they want to see him go with some of these other guys. I think him and a guy like Apollo Creed gives them orgasms. I mean, there's a lot of situations I think that they want to see out of Sami Zayn because I don't know if they're 100% sold on him. His promo work is not ready. There's no question about that. He's a great in-ring competitor, but is he ready? I don't know. And it's not even if I know, I think they don't know. So that's why they want to kind of keep him down there. We'll see what happens. Danny Hoover, Bray Wyatt versus Kevin Owens, even though the heel versus heel, I think Owens' natural heel persona could pull it off. I agree. I would love to see that. That's a great one, but it's kind of hard with the whole situation with the Wyatts. That does add an extra variable because now they're even bigger. They're 4 strong now. Holy shit. Sod Villa, peace out, my N-word Dave. Yeah, peace out. Dark Angel 595, I hate bra shopping even more. Okie dokie. Cappuccino 80, Sami Zayn will return on the Royal Rumble and toss Kevin Owens out. Very good possibility. Very good possibility. I think that we could definitely see that happening. Definitely see that happening. Definitely can see that happening. Sasha Page, doesn't your braless bounce annoy you though? Okay, people are talking about boobies in the chat. I'm all about talking boobies in the chat. Sod Villa Dave, are you going to do a watch party for the Cubs tomorrow? I absolutely intend to be doing a live reaction party for the Cubs Mets Game 3. Absolutely. I wasn't able to do it last night. I wasn't feeling good. I'm really glad I didn't sit through that shit show of a Cubs performance. But going back to Wrigley, absolutely super excited. I will be here live during that, no question. Jordan Turner, hey Dave, what's your WrestleMania 32 match card? What matches do you honestly? This is a raw review. I'm not going through the entire WrestleMania 32 My Hope card right now. I got a lot of other questions to get to, but it is something I will do a show on. I promise you that. Jay Cardi, I want Cena enter the Royal Rumble, then get eliminated by a returning Evan Bourne. Okie dokie. Tank top person, give Slater a chance. Okay, all right. It's all a bunch of boobs in the chat. Let's go ahead and get back. Oh, we got a phone call. Let's take the first caller of the night. Nope, he went away. I was going to take the first call of the night, but he hung up before I could. That was 215. I tried to take your call, but you hung up. So let's get back into the copious amounts of notes. Since we answered all the questions in the chat, went through it pretty well. So last thing we talked about was the power bomb off the top rope through the table. That was awesome. They start awkwardly getting into Randy Orton missing dates in Mexico and possibly missing Hell in a Cell. So you start to wonder, is this legit or bullshit? I'm not 100% sure. It looks like something is wrong with Randy. I don't know if he got hurt. I don't know if there's some kind of other issue. You never know with Randy Orton. That's kind of the beauty of it. You just kind of don't know. So, but he's definitely off the card, it seems like, and we'll see where that goes from here. Let's take a caller, man. 215, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Hey, Dave, just getting to the show. I don't know what you talked about yet, but I want to talk about what you said about Dolph Ziggler needing to get Nikki.
Yeah.
Now, I know you're great and all, but I think that is a terrible idea.
Fair enough.
We do not need any more like diva and superstar storylines combined together because it never works out. At least not in this era.
I don't know. I think with this situation, it's a little bit unique because of the real life situations that are happening with these three. Considering Dolph and Nikki were once a couple, and now Nikki and her very, very known relationship with John Cena. I think Total Divas also factors into it. It's a little bit different of a situation than some of the other things, but I agree with you fundamentally. They usually don't work, but this is one where I think could be a foundation changer for not only John Cena, but more importantly, Dolph Ziggler. So that's just my take on that.
Yeah, understandable. I hear you and all, but everybody knows that or at least I think so. Dolph Ziggler's actually dating Dana Brooke. Is that true?
Yeah, I've heard that, but I haven't seen that confirmed. I've heard that rumor, but
at the same time, I do want to kind of contradict myself. I think somebody said it before. There should be like a Queen of the Ring, like King of the Ring.
I don't know if they have the division for it yet. I think we still got to continue to build this division and start seeing some more high-profile matches. If it gets to a point where we saw, like we see on NXT, where they're starting to headline main event pay-per-views and stuff, absolutely, I'm 100% down for that. But it's not there yet.
Yeah, but I wanted to say, like, if they, obviously when they get to that point, and say King Barrett is still doing what he's doing, they could have like a king exchange, and he can interrupt her matches, and she can interrupt his, and they can have like a royal couple thing. That would kind of be nice. That can get him over. Yeah. That can get a diva over, kind of in a way.
I think the cool thing about that is we have some time before the next King of the Ring, and there's enough time to where if the Divas division is to the point where it could do that and work and not seem hokey, like there's a possibility of Alicia Fox winning it, then 100% absolutely go with it. And then you have a royal couple next year. I think that's a very good possibility of happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to say that. And Raw was pretty much the same Raw we got. It was pretty much SmackDown today.
I thought it was better than the last 7 weeks. I thought this one it wasn't great, but it was better than what we've been seeing.
I mean, people would only say that because we got legends at the top of each hour, and it was pretty much SmackDown. We got 6-man tags, we got tag teams, then we got one singles match. It was just, it was the same old, but
yeah, nothing spectacular. I'm in agreement. Nothing spectacular.
But yeah, I give it about a 5.5, maybe, I guess.
I go a little bit higher. I am going to give it a 7 tonight for some nostalgic stuff, but I can definitely see where you're coming from.
Okay. I'll give it 6.5.
That's fair.
Okay, I'll go 6.
That's fair.
Can't go any higher than that.
Hey, I appreciate the call, buddy.
All right, buddy. I'll let you go.
Take it easy, my friend. That was 215. I appreciate the call. Good call. Hey, if you guys are sitting in the chat, sitting on your hands, need something to do, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and then you can go ahead and, if you're so inclined, go check out www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. We got new shirts there, man, including the Pour Honey on Yo Titties shirt. It's there, and it's amazing. Make sure you check that out, and if you feel like donating to the channel and giving a tip to your favorite fat man, go ahead and do that right in the description box below. Donate to the channel. Keep up all this great stuff that's happening, allowing me to do cool stuff like upgrade the phone number, 702-751-2902. That's because of you guys. So the more that we're able to do that, the more we can upgrade, and that's all because of you guys. So thank you very much for that. All right, let's get back into the copious amounts of notes. Dean has a backstage segment where he's basically saying he's going for a fight. He wants to fight everybody. Everyone in the Wyatt family wants to kick their asses. That was great. Then we got Nikki and Alicia Fox versus Sasha and Naomi. Decent little match. It was sloppy at times. That was something I noticed, and a lot of that has to do with Naomi because I still feel that as athletic as she is and all that, she's still an unbelievable slop fest in the ring at times. I don't even think Sasha's game was super tight tonight. She seemed to get a little loose with her knees and such. I don't know. It's not that it was bad, but it wasn't the same caliber that we like to see. But then again, these diva matches are really difficult. These tag team matches, especially when your opponents are Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox. Very one-dimensional people. So there it is. I mean, it's not an easy situation. We get a little announcement that Kane is suspended, I guess, until Hell in a Cell. So they kept him off television completely tonight, which, considering that they're building to a title match, that was an odd choice to me. But I think we all know that SmackDown will be a very heavily Kane-filled show. Shawn Michaels is out next, which I absolutely love. Seeing HBK, you guys know what type of a fan I am of the Heartbreak Kid. You probably can't see it because I know the camera's a little bit low, but that shirt up in the corner there, that is the Shawn Michaels towel shirt, the DX towel shirt that I caught at the 2007 friggin' Tribute to the Troops while I was in Iraq. Awesome shirt, signed by both Triple H and Shawn Michaels. It's one of my absolute favorite possessions on the planet, and it's hanging up right there. So you guys know I love Shawn Michaels. He stole somebody's pizza. That was hysterical. He seemed to choke on it the entire damn time he was in that promo as well. Seth comes out, interrupts him. Seeing those two face-to-face gave me chills because even at 48, whatever Shawn is, 47, 48 years old, I want to see that match. Him and Seth Rollins. Don't you all want to see that match? I mean, holy crap on a cracker. How good would that be? It would be amazeballs. That's how good it would be. Seeing those two go would, oh, God. And especially if Shawn was in his prime. Holy crap. That would be so much fun. So that got me excited just seeing them face to face. It looked like we were going to get a little bit of a sweet chin music. I like the whole thing with the Who's the Man version 2 of Shawn Michaels, all that good stuff. Thought that was great. Shawn's able to announce matches apparently, and he announces Seth and Ryback in a ho-hum of a match, man. I didn't feel that there was a lot going on. It was very meh. It was a little stiff, which is kind of the, oh God, I'm hurting so bad. Which is kind of the status quo of Ryback. That's what we're expect to see, very stiff, not the most innovative of matches. And this was kind of in that situation. Seth goes over clean with the pedigree. It is what it is. Some people were probably a little bit upset at the fact that, in fact, I did read it online on Twitter, that people were upset with the fact that Ryback lost even though he's going up against Kevin Owens. Well, see, here's the thing. In these type of situations, had it been a count out or a disqualification, people would have bitched. If Ryback would have beat Seth, people would have bitched. There is no situation where people would have been happy with this outcome. That's why I don't get why everybody freaks out about outcomes all the time. Who gives a fuck about the outcome as long as the entertainment is good? Now, in this case, the entertainment wasn't very good in this match, but still, the outcomes are so goddamn stupid to argue over because basically every single one of the outcomes that you see are arguable and can be changed differently and be a different situation. There's no point in getting pissed off over the outcome of a goddamn wrestling match. And it drives me crazy. Oh, they're burying him. He did the job to him. Jesus Christ, it drives me crazy. Oh, my God. So after that little stiff of a meh match, we got our second I'm Cena-ing. Da, 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 da. Our next 6-man tag of the night, Dolph, Cesaro, and Neville versus Rusev, Barrett, and Sheamus. Lots of action. I thought it was a very fun match. Everybody got in a lot of stuff. I think everybody got a lot of great things going on. It was a hell of a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was probably my favorite match up until the main event. It was probably my favorite match of the night. There was a lot going on. Everybody seemed to get in on it. The bro kick from the outside on Dolph I thought was cool. It was a little bit different of a finish that we see from these guys usually. Dolph gets pinned. That's not a big deal. Nobody getting pinned in there. Anybody who got pinned in this situation wouldn't have been a big deal because Cesaro and Neville are getting pinned all the time now, so it doesn't really matter. I like the pairing of Barrett and Sheamus. They seem to be becoming a team, and that could be a very good thing. So Rusev is floating right now. I don't know where eventually he's going to wind up. What we do know is this match is going to take place a second time. It's going to take place on the pre-show. It's taking the spot of Dean Ambrose and Randy Orton versus the Wyatts, which I think is a good move. I think it's a good move. Should be very exciting. It could be a hell of a lot more fun than this match was tonight. They can go a little bit farther. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Let's get back to it here. The Shield reforms tonight, but I jumped something. Ric Flair has his very quick segment where he brings out Roman Reigns. It's like they're like, we're not giving fucking Rick anytime tonight. Roman comes out and decides he wants to have a sit-down powwow with goddamn Bray Wyatt. So the Wyatts come out and we notice it's actually Eric Rowan is out there, not Luke Harper, and they start selling the fact that Luke Harper and Randy Orton both not being there, they must be connected. Roman wants to sit down. Doesn't take very long before he punches Mr. Bray right in the face. I thought it was a very well done segment. I thought freaking Roman did a good job tonight. And I don't say that all the time, but he did a good job with his promo, and he really did a good job in the ring later on. Let's take another call. Michael Mendoza, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
Yo, what up, Dave?
What up, partner?
What up, man? How's it going?
What's crack-a-lackin'? How you doing, buddy?
I'm chilling like a villain.
Sweet. What you got, man? What you got for me?
Oh, man. Can I dare say that tonight's Raw was actually not that bad?
I agree.
It was pretty decent. But at the same time, I think that it was decent because of all the old-timers coming back and filling in the extra time slots, 5 minutes here, another 5 minutes here. Yeah. I think that boosted up the show, sadly.
I still don't think that they used them properly. I understand why they used them in the way they did, and it was there for ratings stuff and time filling only. But I feel that it's just such a weird time in WWE because they could have done so much more with them there tonight.
I agree with this Austin. Yeah, Austin, he looks lively. He looks good. Sean, he looks good, like for a normal, I guess. He looks like he's kept in shape, but not really like in wrestling shape. I don't think
he looks. His arms look great. He looked like he could easily deliver the sweet chin music on Seth Rollins tonight.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think so. But I don't think there's not really much you could do with Sean. I don't think now. I really do think, and I respect him for that we won't ever see him again in the ring.
I hope we don't. I hope we
don't. I really do, especially since he really said that was a big thing for him, that he really wanted to say goodbye and just really not come back to the ring
I like
for a
the
match.
fact that he says that, but he doesn't bury Rick for breaking his retirement. He could have buried Rick, and he doesn't. But Rick's so crazy. Rick is so insane that I've heard him say multiple times that he doesn't feel that he broke his retirement because he didn't wrestle in WWE again. That's how insane that man is.
Well, you gotta love Rick. He's like that old crazy fucking grandpa. Like he's just like I love Rick. Even though I get nervous when I see him on the mic.
Yeah, because you never know what he's gonna say.
You never know what he's going to say or what he's going to do, and if he's going to make any sense of anything. Yeah. But he's awesome.
Do you know what job I want? There's a job I want to get. In 5 or 6 years, Ric Flair, maybe a little bit longer, 7, 8, 9 years, Ric Flair is going to be moved to a retirement home. I want to work there.
Wipe Ric Flair's ass.
I want to work. No, I'll wipe his ass if I have to. That's fine. I'll clean up his pee-pee. I don't give a shit. I want to just hear Ric Flair ramble at 75, 76, 77 years old. That shit would be hilarious.
Imagine the stories that he'd just be rambling out. Jesus Christ.
By the way, reality show, fucking wrestling retirement home. Boom. Mind
Didn't
blown.
they? Oh, wrestling retirement home. I know they did that Legends thing.
Legends House, that was great, but I want to see like while they're getting colostomy bags installed, having conversations. I'm a sick fucking guy. I want to see like them getting hemorrhoid removal surgeries and stuff. I'm a weird dude.
That's some weird fucking shit, I gotta admit.
I'm a weird guy. Hey, your boy Roman Reigns had a really strong night, I thought.
Yes, he did. I definitely, like I said, I'm glad that he came out there. He did some good work on the mic. Not, like I said, he's not the best guy on the mic
tonight. I thought he
did some good work on the mic.
Work.
And the match, he looked like a goddamn. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on the limb. I'm gonna say he looked like a star there for a second.
Absolutely.
Making that huge leap over the top rope. That was something that's gonna get him a lot of good traction there. Cause,
the moment of the night.
The fans fucking blew up for him in that in Dallas, which is a good sign. If I'm Vince and I'm Triple H and if I'm anybody back there, I'm sure they're fucking ecstatic because they're having WrestleMania there, not in that stadium, but they're having WrestleMania in that city.
Sure.
And for Dallas to go crazy for him like that, I'm sure they're pretty happy about that.
Something I did notice though, and you might want to go back and watch it for yourself. They didn't exactly blow up for him. If you go back, they did on that spot where he jumped over the top rope, but when he was setting up his big moves, there was still a lot of boos. A lot of boos. They were hot for that match, but I don't know him. I'm not 100% sure on, but tonight he was a goddamn rock star, no question.
Yeah, I think they and like how you guys always say, they made him look very strong.
Yes, they booked him strong tonight. That's right. They booked him strong, Michael.
They booked him strong, man.
That's
they
right.
booked him very strong. And he made Bray Wyatt look like a little bitch.
Yeah,
for most of that.
The whole Wyatt family, except for Braun Strowman, who I am loving more and more every time I see. Everybody else looked bad tonight, but Braun Strowman, that guy,
he worries me sometimes because he looks great, and the presence and all the mystique of him is great.
Yes.
But he worries me in the ring, obviously, because I feel like he might hurt somebody because he looks discombobulated sometimes in the ring. He doesn't know exactly what to do or where to go.
He's really stiff, but I don't get that same feeling that he's lost in the ring. I watched him tonight really carefully when he was like flinging people into the ropes and going to the turnbuckles and such. I don't feel he was losing control. I felt that that he really does have a good sense of where he is at all times. I thought he did a fantastic job. I was really, really happy with what he did. I got high hopes for the guy because he's got such a great look. Is he going to be a five-star caliber wrestler? No, of course not.
No.
But he could be a monster.
Yeah, he could be possibly someone, I wouldn't say that. I was almost going to dare to say
He could have Kane's career. He could have Kane's career, and that's not a bad career to have.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. He's definitely, like I said, the mystique and the look of him and his attitude, definitely, it looks good on TV and it looks good in the ring. I just don't know ring-wise.
I don't want him to talk because last time he spoke, he talked about killing rabbits, like like suffocating them and like squishing them. I'm gonna squish you, rabbits. I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about?
It's that goddamn WWE writing, man. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know who writes this shit.
Did you catch the show the other night? Did you catch it when I gave all the names for all the writers, and I gave the head writer, who is fucking the Great Khali's former goddamn handler, Ranjan Singh, Arab Bischoff.
Oh my god, this is ridiculous.
Bischoff, yes. Arab Bischoff himself, Ranjan Singh. He is the head writer for WWE. Not for Raw, for WWE. That's your head writer.
I don't know, man. Incredible. I just don't see why they would even let these people write this stuff. I mean, I know it's a PG era, so everything has to be, cut down and watered down, but it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't.
No. You know what? This PG talk, the whole conversation on PG is thrown out the window when you point to NXT. As soon as you point to NXT, all other conversations are done, null and void, because they prove every week that PG wrestling can be done at a high level. In fact, the highest level in the industry right now, it's done on NXT every week. So I don't buy that PG bullshit.
I don't know, but I definitely didn't catch that show, so I'm very surprised at what you just told me. So
you don't watch NXT?
No, I did watch NXT. I do watch NXT, but you said you gave out the names.
Oh yeah. The other night during Dead on Dave Live. Don't worry, you weren't the only one. No one showed up for Dead on Dave Live. Everyone was watching all kinds of other stuff. So I was
just talking. I was watching the game and stuff. So
priorities,
I'm sorry, man.
Kids. Priorities, but it's okay.
I'm sorry, man.
What else you got for me, Mendoza?
Like I said, it was a pretty decent Raw, but like I said, it's if you take away all the legend stuff and all the old timer stuff, I think you still kind of get like a regular basic Raw, because we did get. I don't know why we keep getting so many 6-man tags.
There was 3 tonight. I don't know either.
It's so I mean, they weren't bad though.
Well, actually, I can't give you an answer as to why. I think because the closer and I know we always see them on SmackDown, but I think the closer we get to Survivor Series, the team thing, it seems like this year is going to be a big year for team matches at Survivor Series, which they kind of got away from for a long time.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did get that feeling with the Neville and Cesaro, because all those guys and that all 6 of them are all guys that they're not doing anything with anyway. Yeah. So they just bunched them all together and put them in these 6-mans. And yeah, Survivor Series teams make sense. That definitely does make a lot of sense. So I just keep noticing that a lot on Raw. It's just always 6-man tags constantly.
Yeah, a lot
of
them.
But
usually there was not 3 in one show though. That was a little weird. 3 in one show.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, man.
You think about it. That's 18 wrestlers. That's 18 wrestlers.
Yeah, but that just shows that they don't know what to do with a lot of these guys on the roster, and it's a shame.
That's very.
It's true. A shame, and look, Kevin Owens. I didn't. What are they doing with this guy? I mean,
I understood the booking tonight as far as why put him in there with Mark Henry. Mark Henry's an over guy in Texas. They wanted to.
Yes, yeah.
I got that. I still hate seeing Mark Henry wrestle, but I understood the reasoning of it. He's big. Ryback's big, and. Come on, you can say what you want about that match. I marked a little bit when Kevin Owens hit the Papa Powerbomb. That was sweet.
Well, that was a great a great spot for him, because I was actually wondering when the match started, is he going to be able to lift that dude up?
I wondered. I was like, how is he going to win this match? I was like, what is he going to win this with? It's got to be a count out, right, or a DQ? Because there's no way he could pop out Powerbomb. He fucking did it. It was great.
Well, yeah, I mean, even to the match credit, the match didn't even look that bad. No. That's granted, because Owens, of course, like I said, he's another guy that I love. In the ring, he can make anybody look good in the ring, and he made Mark Henry look good. He sold the shit out of just simple Irish rips to the turnbuckle, made Mark Henry look like a goddamn monster.
I didn't even mind the aftermath when Ryback comes out and he powerbombs Kevin Owens. I thought the whole segment was done pretty well.
Yeah, I just know SmackDown tomorrow we're probably going to get another Kevin Owens fighting some really low, some match that is like a throwaway.
They'll find out some mongoloid for him to fight, no question. What's your rating for tonight, Mendoza?
I'm going to go with a 6.5 to it. I would go with a 7, But I know that if it wasn't for the fact that, if Shawn wasn't there, if Steve Austin wasn't there to kick off the show, and if I knew the Undertaker weren't there, and all, the big names,
sure,
that's the problem. They don't have these big guys, obviously, to show up every week. So without it, it suffers. They don't have real stars there to carry a whole show, I don't think.
Well, they have the stars. They just misuse them.
That's the thing.
True. I think there's enough star power to carry a 3-hour show. They just, right now, they're in this strange transition period that they seem to be stuck in every time this year. By the way, what we've been saying for the past 2.5 months, this is nothing unique. We see this every fucking year at this time. And every year we freak out about it. Every year the ratings dip. Every year there's a bunch of cuts. Every year this happens, and everyone thinks it's the end of WWE. No, calm down. As Aaron Rodgers, who I hate with a furious passion, said last year, relax. RELAX. I wanted to punch him in his pretentious little face when he said it, but it makes sense in this case. Relax. We got a lot of guys returning in the next few months. Potential returns, especially with friggin' Mr. Daniel Bryan, Sami Zayn, Hideo Itami. There's a lot of good stuff. The disappearing and reemergence of John Cena, whatever that's gonna look like.
That's another thing I wanted to ask you, because I just tonight when I was watching it, they said the open challenges, that's how they're going to do it. And then I noticed that they put Ziggler in a match. So what do you think, that they're going to have Ziggler come out twice?
I think Ziggler's in the opening, but so is the New Day, and I think that those two are the most likely candidates. Whoever doesn't fight in a tag match, more than likely Xavier Woods, he has a good chance of cashing in on that chance, and I think Ziggler, he's on the pre-show, so he's not on the pay-per-view, so he could still cash
he's on the pre-show. Yeah. Okay, because that was like, that threw me for a loop for a second. I was like, wait, so I guess they're not going in that direction? I guess somebody else.
I'm hearing a lot of talk of Tyler Breeze, believe it or not.
I would love that personally.
He's now traveling with the main roster now. He was up there backstage tonight on Raw. They're talking about he could be making his main event debut here very shortly. He's a possibility that could be the surprise candidate to not only take. What if he beats John Cena?
God, that would blow him up. You would just create a new star right there. Having him
about Tyler
beat John
Breeze.
Cena.
I know I put Tyler Breeze over all the time because I love him.
I do, I like him a lot. I love his he's got one of the best, his theme music reminds me of Sean's. So
he sings it just like Sean.
It's such a corny ass song, but you can't help to sing along with it and enjoy it. I love the fact that
they both sing it too. So, it's fantastic.
I love it.
I think that the fact that he has been around NXT since the beginning, he's been around there forever. He's toiled, and we're wondering when is he going to be coming up. That would be a hell of a story. So I don't know if people will dig it or not. That's my problem.
I don't think a lot of people. That's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people. There's going to be a lot of people in the crowd that don't even know who the hell he is. Yeah. They're going to go like, "Who's this guy?" And it's a shame. But I would, for story wise and for Tyler Breeze, that would be awesome. But I don't think that's what's. Even if he does make that appearance, I would probably be a little bit more. Sort of, I'd love to see him there and get more exposure from all the other fans, but that he's probably not going to get over on Cena, and so it's just going to be another Cena, bullshit win. And I don't think for that reason I don't even want to see it because I don't, I'm not sure if I would want to see that.
Well, I'm almost 100% sure that no matter who Cena takes on, he's losing.
I hope so.
Through, I'm pretty sure he's losing.
I hope so, because that creates this excitement. Because now we're like, well, because that's the thing. We build ourselves up with this excitement. And we're like, oh, he's going to lose to somebody tonight. He's going to lose. He's going to lose to somebody, and then it doesn't happen.
The interesting thing is, we've seen this before out of Cena, where he was taking time off, but the only time he took off was the live events. Now he's not scheduled for any live events, but if he showed up on TV. That wouldn't surprise me because that's John Cena. So I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna be interesting.
But like I said, there wasn't anything on Raw that I hated. Yeah, like there was this maybe the Divas matches I didn't care for because we're still getting the Bellas a lot, and I understand that we got to run that out. But still, when they come out and this whole team thing, and it's just not fun to watch, and I don't.
It's a big
so that
side up and a couple of and
So yeah, but everything else was pretty decent, man. And you gotta love seeing Austin come out, opening up the show, and it's just I love that, And Brock and Undertaker were great. Everything was pretty decent, and the main event definitely was a main event. It was a worthy main event, and I liked it a lot. Like I wouldn't say I liked it a lot, but I liked it. It was the best thing we've seen from Raw. So I got to give it a 6.5 or a 7. I could go a 7.
Anywhere between a 6 and a 7. That's where I'm at.
And then
but it's a strong 6 to a 7. It's not a weak 6.
Yeah, exactly. No. It's like okay, good. It's a decent 6.5. Good, a solid 7.
I agree.
But the podcast also, man.
The podcast sucked. I hated the podcast. I hated the podcast. That was terrible. Hey, what's your favorite barbecue grill? Get the fuck out of here.
Get the
fuck out of here with that.
It's so weird. They were talking about guns and stuff. They were like, I love this gun. It's a fantastic gun. It was so
fucking hillbilly. I was just like, what kind of scope do you use? I'm like,
what kind of fucking scope do you use? Like it was just like,
they're part of one of those controversial fucking moments. 2 of the most controversial moments in wrestling history. And we get a 5-minute gloss over of both of them? Are you fucking kidding me? I was furious with that podcast.
Well, yeah, I honestly really didn't expect for them to, have a feud or anything. I knew that when I heard that, I didn't think it was really going to happen.
It's the Go to Hell tour. The way they prepped this, something more needed to happen than, what's your favorite music? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, like I said, you could have had them, had this little tiff with each other, but not have a match at the same time. They could have still made the podcast.
I just think they need to have a real conversation.
I think they were having a real conversation, but they were definitely dialing it down. They were having
the wrong real conversation. That's the problem. What's your favorite drink, Brock? Steve, you're a dick. That's the drink. It's called Steve's a Dickhead.
Well, yeah, like you said, Brock was definitely trying to be he was trying to throw off a lot of Steve's questions, and that's Brock is Brock. He's not, if he doesn't want to answer anything, he's not going to fucking answer anything.
I agree.
But it was okay. I mean, I definitely was expecting a little bit more.
It picked up towards the end. It picked up.
Yeah, it was like I said, it was okay.
Hey, I appreciate the call, my friend.
Of course, man. You got I got to call my favorite fat man and give him my 2 cents.
You know what? You got one right here. There's plenty of fat man to go around, and I'm glad that you call in. And
soon you're not going to be my favorite fat man. You might be my favorite just average man, probably.
I'm hoping that's the case. I'm losing weight, so that's a good thing. But
yeah, we're both in the same boat, man. I mean, I was like 260 over the summer, and I dropped down. I'm down 260
in a minute. Oh,
I'm down to 230, 235.
Good job, man.
So I'm losing it, man. I'm getting down back to my original weight, trying to get back down to 200.
Nice.
So
good job, buddy.
I'm getting there, man. So we're in the same boat, man.
Awesome. Fat men unite. I appreciate the call, pal.
Of course, man.
Take it easy, my friend.
A good morning, man. All right, man. Later.
Michael Mendoza, everybody. Michael Mendoza. Let's go ahead and power through the rest of the copious amounts of notes here. So we got put over Roman Reigns pretty strong. The Shield reforms tonight because of Shawn Michaels. Thought that was really cool. The whole backstage thing. Once again, the teasing of the struggles with the Authority and Seth. I thought that was interesting. Then we got Charlotte and Brie, and a meh. It wasn't horrid, but it was very meh. I didn't give a the fuck, Renee then in the back pushes Paige on a whole bunch of things that's going on in her storyline, and Paige ends up going at her. The claws came out and calls her a few names, including not Aaron Andrews. That was interesting. Mark Henry versus Kevin Owens, we talked about that. Really, the only thing worth talking about in that match, which I didn't think was bad, was the pop-up powerbomb. When he pop-up powerbomb Mark Henry, I lost my shit because I didn't think it was possible. Fantastic job. Really, really good. Ryback then powerbombs Kevin Owens afterwards, and I thought the whole segment was done very well. The main event, man, which was the absolute best part of the night, from the beginning of the match with Seth Rollins stepping up to the Wyatts and then taking charge of the team and then tagging himself out of the match. I thought Seth did some of his best work than we've seen out of him in a very long time. There was some funny moments. There was a lot of great action. Eventually we get to disqualification with Dean Ambrose busting out the toys, but there were so many great moments, lots of great spots. Everybody seemed to be over in the match. Everyone was really happy. And the fact that it was Rowan instead of Harper, that's a good sign too. But I think we missed a lot of the Harper spots that we usually see. The discus clothesline, the power bomb. Rowan's a different type of guy. He doesn't have the same skills as Mr. Harper. But it was a very good match, man. It was a lot of fun. A worthy main event, I thought. So, it kind of pushed it up to the top for me. It pushed it to the top for me. And for me, I gave the show anywhere between a 6 and a 7. If you're holding me at a 6, it's a really strong 6. And if I'm being pushed all the way to a 7, then it's like a 7-. You know what I mean? It was a good show. It definitely was not bad. There was a lot of spots that you can question about how they use certain people. But as compared to what we've gotten over the last few months, which is usually a dangerous thing to say in and of itself, because you're like, well, look, he's having to compare to recent things to even justify this. In a way, yeah, you might be right. In some ways, that's 100% spot on. Sometimes that's what you got to do with these type of events, because we knew it was going to be more spectacle than show. And the fact is, because of the lack of main event presence with Seth Rollins and Kane, we kind of forgot that it was a go-home show for Hell in a Cell. Kind of forgotten about that whole situation, because the other two Hell in a Cell events are obviously going to be very big on the card. So it's going to be interesting to see how they balance all that. SmackDown will be a more traditional go-home show, which kind of has been anyway. The fact that SmackDown has outperformed Raw over the past 2 months, I don't think that's a trend that's going to stop this week. Just because it was a better Raw, I think this week's SmackDown is going to be really, really good. And potentially blow the doors off of Raw, which is saying quite a bit. So what do you guys think is going to happen? What are you guys looking forward to? And now is the time of the show where I want to hear from you. What is your rating for tonight's Monday Night Raw? I want to know, because I'm getting ready to get the F up out of here, because my big ass is tired. Not tired, tired. I am hurting so bad. I don't know if I'm going to be able to fucking move off this damn chair, because my ass is going to break off. It's 7:30 in the morning here in Germany, and I'm going to try to go to sleep after this. So aside from what's your favorite barbecue grill, what's your damn rating for tonight? Because I wants to know what's your favorite rating for tonight. But tell me what your favorite grill is, charcoal or gas. What the hell's wrong with Steve Austin? Ugh, drove me crazy. Make sure you guys hit that like button, man. Show the like button some love. Hit the subscribe button to the channel if you have to do it. We're approaching 1,500 subs. You guys are absolutely awesome. Make sure you check out the new shirts and things we have over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Sal, the copious motherfucking graphics guru, has redone the site. Shirts are redone. New shirts are there. The new logo is now represented in a shirt. Prices are adjusted. Everything is much better. Make sure you check that out. Thank you, Sal, for taking care of that. You are the man. And if you feel like donating to the channel, go ahead and hit that. Go into the description box and hit the donate button. And give your favorite fat man a tip. There you go. Cappuccino says, I'd give Raw a rating, but I fell asleep halfway through. I don't think it was sleep-worthy tonight. It wasn't fantastic, but it certainly wasn't sleep-worthy. But I understand where you're coming from, Mr. Cap. I wanted to fall asleep during that goddamn podcast. Meh. No, I was not a fan of that podcast. Not a fan. Captain, you've been hurting a lot lately, Dave. Is it a recent thing, or is it always? Well, I got hurt in Iraq back in 2003. And I kind of suffered with that until I retired in 2010, when I was medically retired from Iraq, or from the Army, after about 10 years of service. And I have a spinal cord stimulator implanted in my spine, so it makes life a little bit difficult. I don't sleep very well. I have severe nerve damage on the left side of my body. If you notice when I'm turning a lot, I'm usually turning away from my left side, because I have a lot of... Sometimes my left arm will go completely limp. It's not a fun time. My leg's messed up. I'm on a cane. I'm fucked up. What can I say? And sitting for long periods of time really does hurt. And but it's okay, because this is kind of my escape from all of that. Talking to you guys and doing this thing, it's my escape from all of that, and I couldn't be more appreciative of having this outlet. So I appreciate when people ask those type of questions, and I hate to complain about it when I say that I'm hurting, but you know, sometimes I can't hide it when I'm trying to adjust and I have to move up a little bit. If I come off the chair at all, it's pain and I can't talk through it, so I might as well just address it. I don't hide from my issues at all. I'm very upfront with you guys, and I'm a very big open book about everything that's going on with my life. So I don't mind answering questions. I appreciate the concern. Thank you very much, Cappuccino. You're awesome. Other than that, I think that we've about hit everything, man. If there's any last calls, now's the time. You can call in on Skype, David Vancura, DavidVancura, or 702-751-2902. Call in, get your voice heard before we get up out of here. I will take final calls, last calls, and then we're going to get up out of here. Make sure you guys check out everything that's going on within the channel, and of course over at Shot From The Point, your one-stop shop for all your hockey needs, man. If you're a hockey person, Shot From The Point is the place for you, man. I'm there every weekday doing In the Crease with Tommy C, and we kick ass, man. We have great shows, so make sure you're checking that out. And you won't regret it. You won't regret it. But we got a lot of stuff going on the channel. Of course, we're going to have the Chicago Cubs Game 3 against the New York Metropolitans in the National League Championship Series. Very excited about that. We'll be doing a live reaction party once again tomorrow night, or tonight for me, whatever it is. So it's great. Pretty excited about all of that. And I hope you guys join me. And then throughout the week, we'll be doing all the reviews that we usually do. And, of course, Saturday, Dead on Dave Live, we'll be doing a full preview of Hell in a Cell. Very excited about that. I hope you guys join me. Hope you guys are here. Hope you guys call in, like, subscribe, share, donate, all the good stuff. Buy some shirts. Support the channel. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Jay Davis, the Real Talk Metaphor Messiah, for all the support you always give, all the music, all the love. I appreciate that. Thanks, Terry, for being the moderator yet again, having that wrench of destiny. Thank you for all the callers. Thank you, Mr. Mendoza, for 20 minutes plus of amazing content tonight. You were great as always. That's all I got. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hope you had a good time. Like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends. We'll see you next time. Keep it motherfucking copious. Peace.